Hey mamas, your body was made to give birth. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you have heard me say that plenty of times before. But apart from simply saying that, I want you to have the confidence in the knowledge of how your body works in harmony with itself and your baby to make birth happen in a beautiful, healthy, and safe way. So in this video, I'm sharing with you how your hormones work perfectly and in your favor to help you progress through labor and even enjoy your labor. I'm Bridget and I'm a birth doula in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I love helping moms love their birth. For more information on how to have a healthy and happy pregnancy, birth, and motherhood, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and hit the little bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Knowing how your body works is one of the best ways to be confident in its ability to do one of the most challenging events of your life, birth. As you watch this video, you're going to learn how amazing your body's natural hormones work together to help your body prepare for labor, help it to progress as you're in labor, and how those hormones impact your baby. So let's jump in. So ever since your period, to your ovulation, to your pregnancy, and now to birth, your hormones have been running the show, keeping everything on a timeline, making sure that baby is growing the way that it needs to, and preparing your body to give birth. And in the weeks leading up to birth, there will be a huge hormonal shift to set off a domino effect of physical changes that will ultimately lead to your baby being born. So during the last weeks of your pregnancy, your body starts releasing more prostaglandins, which are what helps your cervix to soften. And this softening of your cervix plus the weight of your baby's head settling into your pelvis really helps your cervix begin to efface and dilate. Now, it's important to note here that babies are the ones who trigger most of these changes. So when they are ready to be born, they will release chemicals that, one, help their lungs to fully develop, but also trigger the placenta to begin releasing estrogen and cortisol. So baby is the one who's in control to really get things moving. That's why it's so important to make sure that you're not inducing too early if baby isn't quite ready to be born, because it may mean that baby won't handle labor quite as well, or it can disrupt your body's natural hormones that help keep birth safe and manageable. So those hormones, prostaglandin, estrogen, cortisol, are what is leading up to the onset of labor. And now as you move into labor and throughout labor, your body is pumping the hormone oxytocin, which causes your contractions to grow in intensity and regularity. And that's exactly what you want to happen, because those intense, regular contractions are what bring baby down and out. So even though they may feel overwhelming, mama, and challenging, welcome those contractions, because they are what bring your baby to you. However, if you are in an environment, especially during early labor, that makes you scared or makes you feel exposed or anxious, stress hormones called catecholamines, I know it's a big name, also known as adrenaline, which you might be more familiar with, are released and can stall or even stop those contractions. And obviously you don't want those contractions to slow down or to stop by any means, because those contractions that are growing in that intensity and that regularity is what's going to bring your baby to you, right? So on the flip side, when you are feeling confident and cared for and at ease, oxytocin will continue to flow in more and more quantities throughout labor. Now, I know that can sound overwhelming to think that those contractions are only going to grow more challenging, but your body does something amazing in response to those heightening levels of oxytocin. Your brain signals to release hormones called endorphins, and endorphins lower your pain perception and manage the release of oxytocin, giving your uterus a break from those intense oxytocin-induced contractions. So these endorphins are what send women to another planet during labor, which is often called labor land. And it makes them more intuitive and tuned into their body and their baby, and helps them kind of block out all of the distractions in the outside world and helps them find comfort as they cope with their contractions. Now, during a medically induced labor, women receive a synthetic form of oxytocin, but unfortunately, that man-made form of oxytocin doesn't cross that blood-brain barrier that helps trigger that endorphin release, which is why induced labors oftentimes can be much more challenging to cope with during labor. So these hormones, oxytocin and endorphins, are all working together to get baby down and out effectively. And as you move to find more comfort on your own and breathe through your contractions, your baby is able to rotate and descend through your pelvis, giving you that undeniable urge to push. And at this point, lots of mamas experience a little bit of anxiety as they're approaching, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to start pushing. Oh my gosh, I'm about to have my baby. Now, at the beginning, like I mentioned, that anxiety can cause those contractions to slow down. However, at this point, that little bit of anxiousness actually helps you. Those catecholamines are released in you and your baby in response to that stress and helps actually quicken birth. That hormone is going to give you a jolt of energy as you've already spent so much of it throughout labor. It helps you be more perceptive and focused, as well as give you a strength booster as you push your baby out. And once your baby is born, those catecholamines in their little bodies make them instinctively take their first breath after being born, followed by a nice cry for mama, and then helps them be alert as they lay on your chest, gazing at you and the new world around them. Now, the last hormone I want to mention is prolactin. So now your baby is laying skin to skin on your chest and abdomen, which starts to stimulate your body to produce prolactin. So prolactin is what helps you produce milk and also helps you continue in producing oxytocin, which is going to help your uterus shrink down and prevent bleeding, and then helps with your milk to get that let down. All of these hormones that have been increasing and working together through labor are what will give you that euphoric and in love feeling that is associated with that mom and baby bonding. So those are the primary hormones that are at work during birth, and it's amazing what your body can do during 9 months of growing your baby and what it will do during labor. When I say your body was made to give birth, mama, it is so true. And I hope that after watching this video, you're trusting even a little bit more in your body's natural abilities to manage birth from start to finish. Each step you take in learning about birth and preparing your mind and your body for this incredible experience also brings you one step closer to having a birth that you love. So thanks for being with me in this video, mama, and I will see you in the next one.